Hello, welcome to the View Beyond Blue Eyes. Today I've come back to a part of my old history actually. I'm standing on the former site, or actually in the former car park of British Timkens in Duston, Northampton. It's changed considerably. Obviously the factory's gone, closed down in 2002. I was there at the end, made redundant along with everybody else, and yeah, never expected that to happen. My dad worked there for 43 years before me, and I was there to see him retire and see his retirement, and a few years later we heard the news that the factory was being closed. It's quite a disappointment to the local community. Quite a lot of families have worked here or worked through Timkens at those times. Anyway, I thought I'd have a little walk around. Not so much on the site, there's not a lot to see, but I thought I'd walk up past what used to be the frontage, the offices for British Timkens, which they were also demolished, but they did rebuild some flats in a similar style, so you'll get a little bit of a gist of what it used to look like. And as far as I can remember, there's only one piece of British Timken history left here, and that is some gates down the High Street of Duston. Form part of a private property now, but they still have the British Timken gates. They've been painted up. They weren't that good when I used to work there. They were quite rusty, but they've been painted up nice black and gold lettering for the British Timkens. We're going to have a look at them, and then what I was going to do is going to have a little walk along Duston High Street, because during my breaks when I used to work here, I'd go down there to either the bakery or the chip shop or whatever, and just see what's still there. See if I can remember. The Squirrels pub was down there. That's on the last day of the factory. Everybody in the factory ended up in the Squirrels pub. Anyway, have a quick look around where I'm currently standing. So this is Telstar Way. As you can see, lots of new builds up there. I can see a sign that says Old Factory Way. This was the actual main car park. Over there where those traffic lights are, that was the exit, so the gate was sort of around here. You should exit, and yes, traffic lights were probably the original ones from the entrance to the car park. Over in the distance there's still a bit of the fencing that runs along those tree lines that used to form the boundary to the car park. Houses over there were here at the time. This ground's been dug out. I think this is to create a natural floodplain so that the housing over here doesn't get flooded. Poppyfield Farm pub over here, and you can get some good meals in there. I've been in there. They've got a carvery. They do some nice meals. Yeah, it's had some decent ones in there. Anyway, I'm gonna have a little walk up what used to be the old frontage to the factory. Yeah, used to exit here out of the car park and queue there. Used to be quite busy around about the end of day shift, 3 o'clock. Used to be quite a busy little junction. When we walk up this way, this is where the front of the factory used to be. So all of this was car parking, and then the factory used to sit behind the office block. See now, pub and residential area. Now, red brick houses were built sort of on the edge of where the office block is, and the buildings further up that look similar, but they're not the same. How the office block used to look were built as a sort of a memorial in the style of how it used to look. So just opposite on the High Street, it's this memorial to British Timkens. Some information there. Some photos. It's worth coming to have a look. if you're in the area. So they used to famous for their show that they used to hold in the summer, and used to get factory tours. And I remember doing factory tours as a kid with my dad, and I remember working there and having the factory tours come around, and people come around to the machines that I was working on, and I'd explain to them what was going on with the process there. Then have a walk around the high street now down into Duston itself. So when I was working on day shift or back shift during my lunch break, occasionally in the summer mainly, I'd come out and walk down to the village, off to the shop or the bakery or the fish and chip shop, just to pick up a bit of lunch. Quite a nice village, but it is busy. So these flats here were built, they were supposed to represent how it used to look on the frontage. It looked nothing like this. It's got a similar shape, but it just doesn't represent how the frontage of Timkins used to look. But we're set further back. They called the road Timken Way South. That the frontage was definitely set further back, probably closer to where those buildings are, just there. And we carry on down the high street. It's St Luke's Church over there. As I was saying, there's not much left that you can discern as part of Timkins, but these railings, these columns, and this gate, it was never in use when I worked there. Must have been in use at one time. It wasn't in use when I was there. All that remains of that powerhouse factory that supported families for years. Let's head down into the village. Busy down here today. Here's a main road. Some nice properties down here. I like this part of Duston, it's the old part. But it is the high street. You know what that means. Busy. Just going to cross the road from the main corner. So St Luke's Church, the entrance to is that way. Out that way towards where we were, former site of Timkins. And yeah, the War Memorial in Duston. As I say, it's changed a lot since I worked down at Timkins, but at the same time, you know, there's still a lot of what was here. St Luke's over there. That's the high street up there. We'll cross the road over here. So hopefully the traffic noise isn't too bad that you can't hear what I'm talking about. It is a busy road. I'm just going to have a quick walk up the high street, taking a few of the shops and sites that I remember being there. And see what was there, or what is still there. I don't even know if the bakery and the fish and chip shop's still down here. It's been a number of years since I've walked down here. 2002. It's now 2024. 22 years. Yeah, a lot could change in 22 years. We'll have a look. remember it used to be a back way in. Used to cut across behind the roller bearing shop. Used to be able to cut through a fence and come in the back way behind these shops, behind where the Nationwide is over there. I doubt that's there now though. I always liked Duston, very picturesque. Yeah, just there. We used to go up, head down the track. It's approximately where that white building over there. There used to be like a stile or a cut in the fence that used to bring you in behind the old roller shop. Nationwide was here back then. I'm pretty sure there was a fish and chip shop here. You can smell fish and chips. Oh, there we are, Duston Village Chippy. Yes, I can remember getting fish and chips from there. I remember going in this supermarket. Squirrels. I think this pub was packed out on that last day. Full of Timken people. To be fair, if you came down here at some lunch breaks, it was still full of Timken people. They shouldn't have been in there, but they were. Yeah, I really like this village. Oh, it's a chilly January morning. Been away for a while from YouTube, mainly because life gets in the way. Been a bit busy and had to deal with my own demons as well, like you do when you suffer from seasonal deficiencies. The bakery used to be able to get a really good roll in there. Yeah, it's still open, still here. Right, and what I'm going to do is just going to walk up the end here and end there, because that's mainly the village in total. A few little boutiques and second-hand shops. Yeah, sweet. Right, Saxon Rise. This is going to cross the road. If unfair, 22 years ago it was just as busy as this. Anyway, so that was a little walk along Duston Highway, or Duston High Street, from the former site of British Timkens. Brought back a few memories. In 22 years since I walked along here. I might have to come and do a more in-depth walk around Duston. It's a lot bigger than that. That was old Duston. But Duston actually, you know, new builds, and say new builds, anything from the 40s up to the present day, stretches in all directions. Because Duston's quite a big place. But that's the main part of the old village. And the former site of British Timkens. Thank you for sharing my little walk down memory lane with me. This has been The View Behind Blue Eyes. Welcome back to a new year. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.
Talk to me, Goose.